On February 18, 2026, LaMelo Ball crashed his Hummer into a sedan at a busy Charlotte intersection. It wasn't his first scare behind the wheel, and within minutes, old clips started resurfacing online. Now, headlines are saying he's finished for good. Here's what that really means, and what actually happened. The crash. On Wednesday, February 18, 2026, at approximately 4:30 p.m., Charlotte Hornets point guard LaMelo Ball was driving westbound on East Trade Street in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina. He was behind the wheel of a custom camouflage-colored 2022 GMC Hummer EV Edition 1. The intersection of Trade and Tryon Streets is one of the busiest locations in the city. Ball attempted an unprotected left turn onto the one-way Tryon Street. An eastbound silver or gray Kia sedan was approaching through the light. Ball's Hummer collided with the Kia. The Hummer's front left wheel was completely dislodged from the vehicle. The Kia suffered significant front-end damage. Both vehicles had to be towed from the scene. Footage captured by WSOC-TV showed the Hummer swerving slightly before impact. Ball was wearing an aqua-colored Hornets hoodie when he stepped out of the wrecked Hummer. The Kia driver also exited and approached Ball's truck. Witnesses described hearing a loud bang. One witness worked at a nearby halal food cart. Another was a manager at the Sweetgreen on the corner. Within minutes, a crowd of 50 to 100 people gathered. Now, here's where it gets interesting. LaMelo Ball, standing beside his wrecked Hummer with its wheel sitting on the asphalt, did what only LaMelo Ball would do. He walked over to a Lamborghini and was escorted away. You just crashed a vehicle weighing over 9,000 pounds into a Kia, and your exit strategy is a Lamborghini. That's not a typical accident exit. That's a music video transition. The Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department was on scene, but they did not release a report. They did not confirm a cause. They did not confirm fault. They did not even confirm that Ball was the driver, even though photos, video, and eyewitnesses placed him behind the wheel. One person involved was treated by medic for minor, non-life-threatening injuries, though it was never clarified whether it was the Kia driver or someone else. Ball himself did not have a scratch. A league source confirmed he was fine. The next day, LaMelo Ball was not listed on the injury report and was expected to play against the Houston Rockets. He had attended Hornets practice earlier that day, crashed a Hummer in the afternoon, suited up by evening, and as of February 19, 2026, no official statements had been released by LaMelo Ball, the Charlotte Hornets, or the CMPD. The only communication came from anonymous sources confirming Ball was uninjured. Silence from the organization, silence from the player, and police still holding the report. Naturally, the internet filled that silence with noise. NNO Sports posted that LaMelo Ball's Charlotte crash prompted memories for Bobby Phil's widow. Bobby Phil's, the Hornets guard who died in 2000 after racing his Porsche at over 100 miles per hour, was the name that surfaced. And if you don't know why that comparison matters, hold that thought. Online forums were even more direct. In NBA threads, users pointed out Ball's reputation for reckless driving, often running red lights. In Hornets discussions, fans urged him to be more cautious. Others criticized what they described as entitled behavior. Some speculated about fault, questioning whether he pushed through a yellow light. When the public sentences you, it doesn't come with a gavel. It comes through comment sections, threads, and a collective agreement that you've crossed one line too many. For LaMelo Ball, that line isn't just about this crash. This was not a random incident. It was the most predictable accident in recent NBA memory. Anyone who has watched him drive saw it coming. The February 18 crash did not happen in isolation. It happened within a pattern so well documented that social media users had already built highlight reels of his driving long before the Hummer touched that Kia. Videos circulate showing him speeding and running lights near the Hornets arena. This isn't surprise. It's resignation. People have watched him treat Charlotte streets like a go-kart track. The only question was never if something would happen, but when. And this was not the first time his driving created danger. In 2023, after a Hornets event, he allegedly accelerated suddenly near an exit and struck a young fan seeking an autograph, leading to a lawsuit. That litigation remains ongoing. Add that to this crash, and the pattern becomes harder to ignore. As of February 19, 2026, no charges had been filed. No fault was officially assigned. No report released. And the next day, he played basketball as if nothing occurred. But LaMelo Ball is not an ordinary employee. He signed a 5-year, $203 million extension with the Hornets. When you are worth that much, accountability can bend. The silence wasn't accidental. It was strategic. History makes this heavier. Bobby Phil's died on a Charlotte road after speeding post-practice. Other NBA names, players lost to crashes, serve as reminders that the margin between minor and fatal is razor thin. Speed, ego, distraction, one wrong decision at an intersection, that's all it takes. So when people say LaMelo Ball was sentenced, they're not necessarily talking about court. They're talking about reputation. About a public that has watched enough near misses to stop being shocked. The February 18 collision caused no deaths. It caused minor injuries. But it also reinforced a narrative years in the making. Because the road does not care about triple doubles. It does not care about contracts, endorsements, or highlight reels. It treats a franchise point guard the same way it treats a driver in a silver Kia heading straight through an intersection. The difference between a scare and a tragedy is measured in seconds and inches. On that Wednesday afternoon in uptown Charlotte, the inches went his way. Next time, they might not.